Welcome! I'm Callie. Thanks for pressing play. Today we're going to be making a spider web with yarn on an embroidery hoop, and we're going to be making a spider out of pipe cleaners. I hope you've had the opportunity to pick up your Take and Make craft kit from the Tiger Public Library. They will be available until I run out of them. By the way, this is your last warning. There's going to be a lot of spiders in this video. I've got spider footage, I've got spider facts. I got most of my facts from a Mental Floss article, and I'll be linking that in the show notes. What you should find in the craft kit that you picked up at the Tiger Library is one embroidery hoop, one package of yarn, and 3 pipe cleaners. Yours will all be the same color. I'm using a different color to help instruct you on how to make a spider. You will need to provide your own scissors. Inside spider bodies, thread is stored as a highly concentrated liquid. A common garden spider can produce as many as 7 types of silk, each made up of a different sequence of proteins. In fact, the silk itself isn't sticky. Picture a classic web, like one made by an orb weaver spider. The basic structure includes radial threads that extend out like wheel spokes from the center. Another set of threads spiral out in concentric circles. This is the kind of web we will be making today. The silk used to construct these 2 parts of the web is actually produced by different glands, which is why one is sticky and the other isn't. Webs are used for trapping prey, but spiders produce silk for other reasons too. Hunting spiders often make silk to use as drag lines to trail behind them as safety nets while they walk and stalk. Other spiders use specialized silk to create egg sacs, or even to build little protective shelters for themselves. Perhaps most remarkably, some spiders use their silk to pick up air currents and go sailing up into the sky, sometimes migrating hundreds of miles. When conducted in mass, these so-called mass ballooning events can involve millions of tiny spiders. That would be unpleasant to walk into. Let's make a radial web of our own. So for this part of the craft, you're going to need your embroidery hoop, your yarn, and your scissors. Cool. Step 1 is to take the outer ring off of the inner ring. Oh, I think I'm making it tighter. So you turn this knob up top, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, and it'll get looser, and then you'll be able to pull the inner ring out. We'll put this aside for now. Then we're going to take our yarn. We're going to measure the length across a diameter, and we're going to roughly double it plus some, so we don't make it too small. Boop. There we are. And then we're going to make 4 of the same length. 2, 3, 4. Boop. Put that aside for now. We're going to take one of our strings, we're going to pull it all the way across, cutting this circle in half and tying it off on the top. There we are. Then we're going to cut it in half again, making quarters now, and tie it off. Great. We're going to leave the hanging bits for a little bit. Mostly they'll be covered by the outer loop when we put it back on. And repeat 4 times. This will be our 3rd time. Ugh, goodness. You can scooch those around. Let's see, I'm going to make it have 8 spokes. 8 spokes to our radial web. Boop. And tie that off. Great. Should look a little like this. All right. For step 2, put the scissors off to the side. We're going to take our yarn. We're going to take a big length of it and make a smaller ball of yarn so that we can pass it through between the spokes. So just a big, long amount of it. That should do. Boop, snip it, put that aside. To make a ball of yarn, I'll wrap it around a couple of fingers, then take it off my fingers and then make kind of a bow out of it. And then I'll grab these sides and make kind of a ball. This has taken a lot of practice, so if you're not going this fast, don't worry too hard. You can pause the video here. You can watch it till the end and come back after the end. There we go. That's a lot smaller and we'll pass through our spokes. Great. We're going to take our end. We're going to go from the outside in. So we're going to grab both of our strings that make up this radial spoke. I'm going to tie them together. We're going to do a double knot to make it really secure. We'll come back and trim off all of our ends at the end. Great. So this part, we're getting tricky with some knots. So I'm going to go over the next spoke, through the pizza slice, and then under the spoke, back through the other pizza slice, so that you have this kind of thing. And then we're going to make it tight, but not until the very end. That's the last thing we're going to do. So we're going to take our loop and we're going to make sure our yarn passes over this crossbar and then up through the loop. Lots of extra. So it kind of looks like a pretzel there. And then we're going to make sure that this crossbar is as tight as we can make it. So we'll isolate that, pull it tight, and cinch the knot. That might take a little bit of practice, but hopefully you have enough string that you can cut off your web and do it again if you're not satisfied with how it went. So it's okay to practice. Make that knot a little tighter. Okay, I've got a lot leftover yarn here. So we're going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. So we're going to go over that next spoke, through the pizza slice, under the spoke, up through the other pizza slice, so that we have this kind of thing. We're going to go over that crossbar, up through the loop. We're going to make sure that this crossbar is as tight as we can make it before we cinch it off. There we are. There's another concentric circle. So our circles are going to be going like this. So let's try that again. Over the spoke, through the pizza slice. Whoa, where am I? Oh my goodness, there I am. Where am I? There we go. Whew. See, it's a little bit tough, but with practice you'll get it. Back through the last pizza slice, over the top bar, up through the loop. Ooh, I've got lots of excess string. We'll have to ball that up again in just a second. Make sure that's tight before we cinch it off. Let's ball up our yarn again. Okay, over, under, through our pizza slices. There's our loop. Over the crossbar, up through the loop. Tighten off and cinch. All right, from here, we're just gonna keep going. Now when you get here, we're going to want to go and put our knot here, don't you think? So we're going to go through the pizza slice on this side of the string. And keep going. And when you've gone as far as you're going to go, we've already put our knot in, so we can just snip and put the yarn aside. And here we are at the end. We're gonna cut off our ends. So make sure you tighten those down with double knots as much as possible. Cut them close, but not so close that the knot comes undone easy. Tighten, doop. So I'm leaving about ½ an inch maybe. Ooh, tighten that down. Trim it. Tighten down, trim it. Oops. Oop. And I'm not sure if you've noticed yet, but it's really, really easy to move these spokes around. And you can slide these knots up and down the spokes. So you can make it look cool the way you want it. Oop, I missed a string. Shoop. That's pretty much how I want it. take our outer circle now and put it back on. Oh, I might have to loosen mine some more. So I've got thick, chunky yarn. You'll notice that yours isn't as chunky as mine is. Fit that in there. Once you've got it on, then you tighten it down to make sure everything stays in place. Look at my lovely wonky guy. I wanted to highlight a particularly neat spider from Europe and Asia, the diving bell spider. It spends its entire life underwater, and is the only spider known to do so. It can survive underwater because of its bell-shaped web, which it anchors to aquatic plants, with additional lines of silk extending upwards towards the surface. The spider climbs these lines of silk, lifts its rear out of the water to collect tiny air bubbles around the hairs that line the back of its legs and its abdomen. Carefully holding these air bubbles between its back legs, it descends back into the bell-shaped web and places the bubbles inside to form one large bubble of air. How cool is that? Now let's make our spider. So you'll need your pipe cleaners and your scissors. We're going to take 2 of our pipe cleaners. I'm going to even them out and fold them in half, like so. Then we're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut them down the middle. There we have 4 halves now. We're going to stack them one on top of each other, grab it in the middle, and give a good twist. So now it looks like it could be whiskers, kitty whiskers. Now we're going to take our other pipe cleaner. We're going to wrap it around and around and around and around and around until you get to the end. This makes the body. Even left a little bit out because they have mandibles. A little more spiderish, don't you think? So let's give these legs a good bend in the middle, like so. Well, now it's looking like a spider. What do you think? Bend, 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 bend. And spread them out. And now you have a spider for your web. Thanks for coming today. I hope that you had fun, and I hope that you're proud of the web that you made. If you'd like to have your grown-up help you post pictures of your creations on Facebook or Instagram, be sure to tag the Tigard Public Library and use the hashtag #TigardLibraryAtHome. I'd love to see your work. I've created a list of wonderfully spidery books that you can check out from the library. Links are all in the video notes. May you never run into a spiderweb in the morning. And have a fun and creepy autumn. Bye! A Noiseless Patient Spider by Walt Whitman. A noiseless, patient spider, I marked where, on a little promontory, it stood isolated, marked how to explore the vacant vast surrounding. It launched forth filament, filament, filament out of itself, ever unreeling them, ever tirelessly speeding them. And you, O my soul, where you stand, surrounded, detached, in measureless oceans of space, ceaselessly musing, venturing, throwing, seeking the spheres to connect them, till the bridge you will need be formed, till the ductile anchor hold, till the gossamer thread you fling catch somewhere, O my soul.